Hello, everybody. My name is Brendan Notar Francesco, and today I'll be going over a review of human factors. So, first and foremost, it's obvious that this plays a very crucial role in aviation safety because, as simple as losing your pilot to exhaustion, could be the result of the pilot and all passengers dying. It is a very serious deal, and we'll be studying both the psychological and physiological risks that pilots face. So the first thing I want to bring up is hyperventilation. So this is caused by things such as stress, that's normally the culprit, as well as high altitude breathing can cause this. This will lead to excessive loss of CO2, dizziness, and even unconsciousness. And the ways to mitigate or cure this is to slow your breathing, talk out loud, or use a paper bag to breathe in and get more of that carbon dioxide going through your system. Next thing I want to bring up here is the middle ear and sinus problems. So this can cause things such as congestion and difficulty equalizing the pressure in your sinuses. So this is common in descents, and this can cause things such as sinus blocks. Ear block is very painful. I've had very close calls with it in the past, and it's very painful. So ways to cure this are using the Valsalva maneuver, which is covering your nose and then blowing through your nose to get the pressure out to your ears. You can yawn, and the best thing to do is just to avoid flying altogether while you're sick. Following that, we have motion sickness. So motion sickness is something that is near and dear to me because I've felt this a lot in the past. Now, this is caused by conflicting sensory input. So what you see versus what you're feeling, those things do not agree, and your body's response is to vomit for some reason. But symptoms are nausea, sweating, dizziness, and it could really mess you up while flying. The way to cure this is to get some fresh air. So open the windows, get the air vents on the person that's feeling sick, and to fly very smooth. Something that's worked amazing for me is ginger juice, but that's besides the point. That's not really too common. Following that topic, we have carbon monoxide poisoning. So this results from things like exhaust leaks or smoking. The reason it's so dangerous is because carbon monoxide binds to hemoglobin, 200 times stronger than oxygen. So oxygen is not able to get through your system as efficiently as it's designed to. So the way to cure this is to turn off your heater, open your vents, use supplemental oxygen if you have it, and land as soon as possible. Stress and fatigue go hand in hand. They both reduce alertness and decision making. They can cause many errors, and those errors can accumulate, and you can neglect secondary tasks. And this is very dangerous not only to the passengers and to the pilot, but to your learning progression. There's acute and there's chronic. The mitigation for this is to get some adequate rest, and get some professional help if you do have chronic issues. Next topic I want to bring up is dehydration and hypothermia. So dehydration can cause things like fatigue, cramps, dizziness. This all happens in hot environments. So the best thing to do is to drink plenty of water and to limit your caffeine and alcohol consumption. Hypothermia, on the other hand, is caused by cold temps. You can also have it if your heater fails, which is, just more cold temps. And just plan ahead, dress to egress, dress warm when it's going to be cold out, and be prepared for colder temperatures up at altitude. Next topic I want to bring up is alcohol, drugs, and medications. So the regs that apply to this are 9117 and 6153. You need to limit your alcohol consumption to at least 8 hours before you fly, and sometimes more than that is better. Just don't be under the influence when you fly. Having underneath a 0.04 blood alcohol content is best, and that's the legal limit. So if you're over that, you're breaking the law and you can lose your certificate. If you're ever in doubt, just get your AME approval for medications you're not certain of, and be prepared to deal with any symptoms such as hypoglycemia and vision issues, which I found in the Airplane Flying Handbook that drugs, alcohol, and other medications can cause. Next, you have diving attitudes and I'm safe, so make sure that you're waiting plenty of time before scuba diving to avoid decompression sickness, because that's very painful. I found this in the PHAC. And here's some hazardous attitudes that you should avoid. There's an antidote for everything. Just make sure that you're prepared to find what's worst for you, what works for you. And I'm safe. That's something that we all look at before we fly to make sure that we are safe before we fly. And I don't want to get too long here because I'm seeing the time's running out. But here are my references, and I hope you all enjoyed and learned something new. Thank you for watching.